Hey everyone, welcome to PHENOMSOUND. In today's video, we are going to continue our series of ultimate tutorials. It's a type of tutorial where I'm sharing my technique of making a drop from sound design and arrangement to the mixing and mastering. Previously, we found out how to make future RIDDIM and raw drops. And in today's video, we are going to take a look at the classic heavy RIDDIM. And today we are going to be working with this demo over here. As always, you can get this FL Studio project, all of the serum presets and all of the samples from it on my Patreon page. The link is over here, or you can find it in the description of this video. Also, make sure to check my serum preset pack called Cyber Jedi. It's a must-have preset pack with lots of tear-out, RIDDIM, and even Nero sounds, and I'm sure you will find your perfect presets in there. You can find it on my Patreon shop. The link is below as well. Also, I'm posting a mixing and mastering tutorials for my Dubstep Guru members on YouTube. So hit the join button below and boost up your music production skills. Okay, first let's take a look at the structure of the basses in this part of the drop. Actually, there are a few main basses layered in this part of the drop, and the first one sounds like this. And as you can guess, it's a reverb filtered RIDDIM bass, kind of similar to one of the sounds from my previous tutorials. And it's looking like this. FM from B, 4088 wavetable, high pass filter, and some fixes including the reverb filter itself. And of course the delay effect, it does the RIDDIM effect. And makes the sound less sharp, which is the result of the reverb filter. And another bass layered on top of this one sounds like this. It's quite crispy and wide, and the patch is looking like this. It's a squelchy 2 wavetable, FM'd from B using the Schrott's wavetable and a bit of the flanger minus filter with this kind of automation, noise, and a high notch 12 filter. And once again, the delay effect adds a huge amount of space and width to the sound. So together with the metallic bass, they sound like this. Nice. Then I wanted some more high-end and added another bass layer, which is also almost dead mono. Actually, there are two sounds. The one is the main leading high-pitched synth, while the second one is some just squelchy sort of a fixed sound which adds crispiness and width to the whole bass. So the first one is looking like this. Trilobite 1 FM from the saw wave on the second oscillator, with a slight touch of a couple of filters. bit of a detune using the flanger minus and the delay effect. Nice, the second one sounds like this. It is extremely wide. I've made some experiments with the alien spectral wavetable. It's really crazy, so much talking going on in there. And if you FM from it, you can get really funny results. So I'm using the Monster 2, really low pitched one, and FM from B from the Alien Spectral, really low pitched one as well. Both of them are on -4 octave. Really no big impact from the fixes or from the filters, just a pure wavetables automation and the sync automation. And as you can hear, there is a pitch automation, I think, yeah. Which is looking like this. So together they sound like this. And all together those basses sound like this. Okay, what we want to add here is, of course, the drums. Classic RIDDIM pattern, it's the essentials of RIDDIM. That's my kick, the main clap, and the additional one. Here I have the offbeat hi-hat, and I have a pattern using the classic hi-hat, which repeats the pattern of the basses. It helps to glue the rhythm of the drums with the bass rhythm. Of course, what we want to add next is the fat sub bass. It's one of the most important part of the drop, and there you go. Let me show you the sub bass clean first. Sounds really awful. It's a basic sine wave and a noise, automated, distorted all the way up, and there is a master tuning automation. Really dramatic one. 4 octaves up. To make it sound really cool, I'm using the compressor, getting rid of the mids and the high frequencies, setting the downwards compression at 20. And next I'm using the EQ to get rid of the rest of the mud and some sharpness. And finally boosting up using the distortion. Really tiny one. And once again, of course, I'm using some interesting melodic patterns with the sub, using sliding effects. By the way, it's the legato sub, so you can use this awesome tricks using the legato, jumping from one octave to another and stuff like that. And of course, I'm repeating the pattern of the main bass using the sub, so it would match the rhythmical structure of the drop. Sounds nice, but how to fill this space, because there is so much space left for the other sounds. I'm going to show you right now what I came up with. Of course, the first thing that I want to hear in the RIDDIM drop is the lasers. So I took this percussion sample, added a whole bunch of affixes, and got this laser sound, but mainly it's the freeform phase that does this laserish effect. I'm drawing this type of envelope and setting the depth all the way up. Adding some tiny frequency shifting. And there you go. Another basic thing that a lot of producers add into the RIDDIM drops and Tirao drops is the high-pitched screechy lead, which I have over here. And of course, it's the saw waves. The saw wave on the first one, which is FM'd from B. On this one, the semitone is set to 7. And that's basically it. It's simple as that. The post-processing is quite basic, just compression and the EQ, some limiting. Really simple, but it does a good job. So we are getting something like this. We could probably stop at this point, but let's go ahead and make it a bit more interesting by adding a little accents. This is what I mean. Really wide rhythmical sounds that will support the main groove of the drop. Let's take a listen to it with the drums. So there are some laserish sounds on each kick and some talking bass on the offbeat. It plays exactly when the hi-hat is playing. Now let's compare the drop with this wide layer and without it, and check the difference. I think it sounds much more interesting with this layer, and I strongly recommend you to use this trick and put some really wide interesting sounds as an accents on your drop texture. Let's quickly take a look at the post-processing of the basses, because it's quite complex. Let's take a listen to it clean. So there are a lot of information that we have to get rid of. So I'm compressing the sound. Making it really loud. And then removing the mud using the EQ, cutting the low frequencies. No mud on the low frequencies and the mids, but still quite sharp on the highs. So I'm removing the high frequencies over here. Don't be shy to put ridiculous amounts of the EQs on your post-processing chain, because sometimes you can get really messy using just one instance of the EQ. Here I'm pumping the frequencies that I like, because as you can see there are different purposes for different EQ instances, so not get messy, I'm having separate instances for this purpose. Then I'm adding the gross beat, which is really nice stuff to make the rhythm of this sound a bit cleaner, because in most cases there are some tails that quite ruining the groove of this sound. Check this out. So here I've used this 1-bit gate, set the release time at 3 o'clock, and we are getting this effect, getting a bit more order to the sound, and of course leaving the space for the other sounds and for the drums. And finally I'm adding another EQ, final touch of the EQ, and the serum effects with the delay effect. Let's check the difference. I really love this effect. Trying to put it to the most of my sounds. And there is a maximizer. Okay, the second bass has quite the same post-processing chain. The same applies to this white layer, but I've added the imager from the Ozone 10, and it adds a huge amount of stereo width to the sound. I made my kick mono, compressed it a bit, and cut a little bit of high frequencies, because I have quite a lot of cymbals and hi-hats over here, so it could be quite sharp altogether. I'm also making my clap a little bit mono to not draw too much attention to it. And there are some additional sounds. For example, this one. I have two instances of the same sound. The one is mono, and the second one is really wide. And there is my Reese bass layer, which is also really wide. And here I have quite similar sound. It's a growl layered with the same Reese bass. Another combination of the mono bass and the wide one. So together they sound really wide, but as soon as you switch to the mono system, you won't notice that some sound fell off the mix. Okay, let's take a listen to the mono version of the drop. Yeah, I think everything is quite audible, nothing crucial falling off the mix, since we've made all of our main basses almost dead mono, and as well as our drums, which is awesome. And let's take a look at the mastering. First of all, I feel lack of the width overall on the mix, because originally it sounded like this. So I've added the imager and set it at 55%. You can always do this during the mastering process. It's the perfect time and place to do this, Also, I've added a saturator to shift the main emphasis of the mix to the low and mid frequencies, reducing the high frequencies a bit. Check this out. Sounds quite bright and sharp, while we would like some more gloomy and dark. So, this is exactly what saturator does. Really subtle one, just 8.3%. Also, I'm using the OTT on the master with depth at 54% and downwards at 50%. Helps to glue all of the sounds, all of the frequencies together. And then I'm using the maximizer with the IRC4 transient mode enabled, character set at 0.4 and boosting the low frequencies using the soft clipping, set it at 25%. That's it. Let's check the version of the drop without any of these plugins. Sounds quite dry, sounds like it's just a set of sounds, while all of these plugins are helping us to glue all this together. Into a loud and powerful mix. And that's awesome. Okay, that's pretty much it. Nothing too fancy at all, but it requires some time and knowledge to fit all of those tiny elements all together and to fill the space. Hope I helped you with this, guys, and you will try some of these techniques while you're producing your own hits. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment and like this video if you enjoyed, and see you in my next tutorial. Bye!